from yesterday's shir. We had the concept of the word Yehi with a hey in between two yudin. So over here you have yud ilah, yud titah, and it says hey bagavayu. This is kind of where the area that we've been working on. What's the meaning of these three letters? Klal of the Shlima. This is just as my memory tells me this is a klal that means that Zer Anpin is getting all the nourishment that he needs to be born. Shlim, he's complete, below the kol star, but he's not completely complete. So then he says, and I think this is really close to where we're at right now, he says, it's Aker Mahai Aser Shmado. So this name, what's the name? We have to figure it out, is uprooted from this place, V'ishtil, and is planted Ba'achra, in another place. Now this could be, without reading the blurb, reading it and trying to remember as best I can, it could mean that the shefa coming from Erik Anpin is going to Zer Anpin, and that's being planted in another place. Kasiv V'yita Hashem Elokem. The name Hashem Elokem in other places, he has described that as ZOHAR V'nuk, or complete. So now exactly what these words are, they're very mysterious. So now we're going to come down below. We'll read a little bit coming into number Kaf Daled. Kaf Daled. We're going to read Kaf Daled, and we're going to go down to number Kaf Hey, which is going to really bring us towards the end of this piece. So let's look at number Kaf Daled, and I said we're going to go up a little bit from there, and we're going to start Ubetechila. It says, Yatzav and Izgala Rak Zer Anpin. Hanikra Ose Pri, who's called by this name, he's the one that makes the fruit. Ba'adaim Nizgalsa Hanukva de Erika, Nukva de Zah, Hanikras Eitz Pri, she's the fruit. Eitz Pri is fruit tree. So he said, now we're coming to number Kaf Daled, and we worked on number Kaf Daled yesterday, and we'll go over to number Kaf Hey. So therefore she's not going to be mentioned over here in the word Yehi at all. He said, Nishlam Zer Anpin bebechinas Shlemus Gemura because Hadanit. V'Amr is Aker Mahai Aser Shmado. So he says, when is Zer Anpin considered to be completed in all sides? So now this idea, he says, Ki Zer Anpin Ne'aker Memakom Mei Ima, he is uprooted from the womb of his mother. Im Bazugo, together with his female aspect. He says Bazugo is his mate, it really means a female part of himself. V'yotza l'chutz, and it goes out from the womb. Now remember that we're not talking about your mom's moon, but although it is a metaphor for the same thing, as I've said before, that coined the phrase a reverse hologram, is that we are the physical representation of the same thing, but what's really going on in the heavens is what Rabbi Shimon bar Yochai, the Rashbi, is showing us here. Because before we appear in our big form, and we are big, there is an inspiration down below inside of us that causes that ultimately to appear. So in us. So he said, and it starts this inspiration. He's defining it. In Bas Zugo V'Yatza L'Chutz, and he comes out together with his female part. Now you V'Ne'az Ne'aker Zer Anpin Shem Yehi. So then is uprooted from Zer Anpin the name Yehi Hanau. Now let me see if I got that right. V'Ishtel Ba'achra, and it goes into another place. It's planted elsewhere. V'Nishtel B'Shem Acher. It's planted. Now what is the it? It is planted in another name. Kolom Zer Anpin V'Nukva Nishtado V'Hegdila V'Bechin Nitiyah. So they actually come planted in a certain way that allows them to become like Nitiyos is lush saplings, like fresh trees that are going to grow little trees. V'az Nizgala Hein Zer Anpin, and when that happens, and they become replanted. Replanted, I'm thinking replanted is mashma lushan earth, and earth is malchus. So he says, Hein Zer Anpin, Vehin Nukba Bakol Kumasim, they're completely and totally replanted. Venishnahu Babachin Shlemas, and they come back into an aspect of Shlemas Gemara, Bakol Tzadanim. So now there's a Zohar and a Nekeva. V'az Nikra Shnechem B'Shem B'Shem Elokim, and that's where the name Hashem Elokim comes from. Shem precedes the name Elokim. Hashem is the name of mercy, it's the name of Zer Anpin. And Elokim is the name of Din. It's also what's found in the Nukfus, and now they're called Hashem Elokim. Akelma is the former of the fruit. The seed of the fruit is planted, and the Elokim forms it, becomes a tree. Ksiv, it's written like this: Ukumosha Amrach Amrach Yisach Hashem Elokim. Pirish Kashin Nishta Zer Venuk Bebechinas Netia. When they are replanted, again the constant, the metaphor of planting. He says when they are planted, they're saplings. They begin to grow. Nikrach Hashem Elokim, and they're called by that name. Now let's go over here to number 25. I spent a little time trying to understand that deeper. I don't know if I succeeded in any way, but let's look down here at number Kaf Hey 25. Rabbi Sharmar Mamari Rashbi, he says, Shabir Kam Bazel Lashon V'Acher Kach Ne'akar V'Yatzat L'Chod Zer Anpin Im Nekevasa, with his note. Shahoyet Achidach B'Sel Chabina Ne'olomen, because in Bina you couldn't see them. B'Bechin is Iver, they were just gestating. V'Zechem V'Masha Amar is Akroch Mechai Aser, this means they leave the womb. But I am bizarre also of the Sefer Bereshis, and etc., 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 etc. It says, Tanan, we learn like this. Hanetius mekarnech agavim hav. These new saplings that we're talking about, they're so thin and so transparent and so almost nothing that they're like the antennae of a grasshopper. He's saying, relatively speaking, the nahora the love dokik below having nahirin. It's like a light. The lahon, their light is so thin, so transparent. Below chaza, below hava of naharin, so it didn't shine at all. Came into is anter of is takno is ravia benahar. But once they are uprooted from the womb of Ima, vistakno, and now they're going to be placed into the ground. Is Ravia b'nechora, then their light begins to grow. Ve'ikron va'akron arzech lav Lebanon, and they're called by the name of the cedars of Lebanon. So who are the cedars of Lebanon? He says this is Zer Anpin and his Nukva, when they leave the womb and become implanted where? In this case, we're talking about in the Karka of Itzilus. So he said, V'hine, let me bring this down a little bit closer. It'll be easier for me to see it. So he said, let's see, okay, let me see, I left one word out, it's this word. V'adam, and the man, V'chava, and his wife, his female, that is, the man and the woman are together. As the Idnatach below is Rabbi ben before they were planted, they really didn't have a lot of light. Lo Saliku Rechel, they didn't bring out any kind of breath at all. Now I'm using the word Rechel as breath. Vada is Akro V'ishtali, so then for sure they had to be uprooted from that V'ishtali, and they're replanted. V'istakdach K'dakayos, and then they're put in the position where they actually can grow. Now, it's my speculation that you would add this on to the Karka of Itzilus, Adkan. So as they are revealed, Zohar V'nuk, Nikrach Avavaya Elokem. So go back to the Pasuk in the Chumash, and Hashem planted. So what's this planting business about? Adkan. So that is my question, actually. I'm speculating that he means planted where, as if it was possible to say that there was karka in Itzilus, but it would be the bottom of Itzilus is the place from which they grow. Because I'm thinking that the feet of the Nukva actually are on the karka of Itzilus, as she is the karka of Itzilus. So v'hidach of the Elon is bar the bechindas shem yehi, that this aspect of Yud and a K in between two Yudin, who shlim below the star. So that Kam Yehid is not complete. Veinu shalim be'gemukah because it's a danik yidloch nizkar bo on nukva because she's not mentioned in it. Now, couldn't she be the hay in the middle? I don't get it. Let's go on. Because she's still hidden. She's like a little dot. So now that they're revealed, they're in another place. They're no longer hidden inside of the womb of Ima. Let me see if I get this page lined up a little bit better. Let me say, clean that up a little bit. He said, "Who bechina shlim below bechol stadim." That's when it's complete. V'haz nikrach b'shem chodesh is a new name now. It's called Hashem Elokim. Okay, that was number 25. It was my mistake that I thought that it was going to be much longer. I just, picking these things up and trying to work on them. We got down to 26, and we're going to stop right here. And this is going to be a new piece that we're going to talk about on number 26, number Kaf Vav. This is Baruch Fleischman.